Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite. We are a little late, but sorry for that. We've been busy trying to do a lot of stuff coming up for you on Connect TV, but we're here. And you know what that time is? It's the AEW Ring Report coming up. As you see these matches right here, you see the FTW Championship is online. It's FTW champion Ricky Starks defends his championship against one half of the World Tag Team Champions Jungle Boy and a stellar championship match, as well as CM Punk goes against John Silver. Did John Silver get a win over the number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship? We'll see on that. Plus, two, the Jericho Appreciation Society with their victory speech. What details Jericho has at the horrible actions that Jericho and his group did last week to Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, Santana Ortiz, as well as the in-ring debut of Danhausen against Tony Nese. Who would have thought Tony Nese would be in a prime spot? But will Hook be around? We'll see. As well as the contract signing, as MJF makes the contract official with Warlow on his terms, on Warlow getting out his contract with MJF. And two, three incredible Owen Hart Cup matches, two for the men and one for the women. Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy, killer in a main event that many people are talking about fantasy warfare. Well as Adam Cole and Dax Harwood kicks off the show. We'll talk about that. And Tony Storm and JD Hayter have the Women's Cup. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Thank you again for watching the Pro Wrestling Show here on Connect TV on YouTube. We thank you. We thank you for watching the AEW Ring Report. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect TV. And we want to thank you to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We got a lot to get to. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into what's going down tonight. All right, we kick off with this. The AEW Owen Hart Cup. These two greats. One is a big fan of Shawn Michaels and Adam Cole. The other one's a big fan of Dax Hartwell. He used to be a fan of Shawn Michaels, but due to what happened, things went down. These two men, Cole and Hartwell, put their bodies on the line for opportunity to advance into the Owen Hart Cup. And what a cup match it was. But at the end, Adam Cole gets the win, baby. Adam Cole solidifies himself, advancing to the Owen Hart tournament after providing this move right here, the sharpshooter. He padded that sharpshooter in and made Dax tap out. So Dax Hartwell heartbroken by his dreams, crushed that he won't be heading into the match. He will have to watch like everybody else, and it makes Adam Cole advances on to the Owen Hart Cup. Also in attendance was Owen Hart's widow, Dr. Martha Hart, Owen Hart's wife. She was in attendance. You would have thought WWE would have been the front runner for the Owen Hart Cup, but AEW was lucky to get it due to them working with Dr. Martha Hart. So Owen Hart legacy lives on through AEW in this tournament, in this cup, with the association with Dr. Martha Hart and others. So you know how that goes. Um, trying to see they had pictures of them. Trying to see they had pictures of Dr. Martha Hart. You see she's happy, elated. This is a recent picture Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, took. Owen Hart's family. Owen Hart kids are definitely grown up by now. Should be in their 30s now. Um, they are happy and elated, and Dr. Martha Hart is elated as well that Owen's Hart legacy lives on. Also, too, Danhausen took on Tony Nese. Tony Nese took on Danhausen. Danhausen's in-ring debut match. It was, I want to say, evil, what Danhausen like to say, but at the end, we see that Danhausen lost to Tony Nese, and now Tony Nese picks up the win, but Hook came out there and turned the table and helped Danhausen. So this unlikely appearing, Hook and Danhausen joining forces to take on Tony Nese and his lawyer Mark Sterling. Mark Sterling everywhere around. If you ask me, well, you know how that be. Well, we know at Double or Nothing, Hook and Danhausen will team up to take on the team of Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling in a match that should be entertaining to see. Hook and Danhausen teaming up to take on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. We'll see that match at Double or Nothing at the YouTube, the social media buy-in or whatever the hell you want to call it. Also, to the contract signing between MJF and Warlow. MJF has put Warlow through a lot. He's been putting him through matches against monsters, including Lance Hort, Big Cass, you name it. Well, MJF gave was the crowd fan favorite. Well, not that. That's just CM Punk, but that's the crowd fan favorite, and explained the contracts that signing that he's going to attend. He told Warlow, "You have to take 10 lashes," and Warlow will do that next week on Dynamite when he has to take 10 lashes. Who can forget when Cody, who's in WWE now, he took those 10 lashes from MJF in order to get himself a match against MJF, and the pain and the brutality and the mental capacity and all. And as you see right here, um 10, as you see, that's been getting over. That's what's his name? Sean Spears told Warlord, you got to take 10 lashes, and then you got to go against Sean Spears, and on top of that. And then they tried to do a parody of Dark Side of the Ring and brought out Barry Horowitz, who was a jobber, legendary Jewish wrestler with Chris Jericho with the voiceover. So there's a lot going on. And then Jake the Snake Roberts made a rare appearance as well on the Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, it was just super rare. But now we know that Warlow, he will get a match against MJF, and that will happen at Double or Nothing. So we're looking forward to that. But Warlow has to go through a lot to get his hands on MJF if he wants the match against MJF at Double or Nothing in a couple of weeks. So we'll see that. Speaking of another match that's intensifying at Double or Nothing, this match, CM Punk went against John Silver. CM Punk showing his jersey to folks. But that wasn't the case. CM Punk won his match. But at the end, CM Punk was doing the Hangman Page move, the Buckshot Lariat, and it didn't go well with Hangman Page. I think Adam Page turning heel. And him and Adam Page are going through it. And next thing you know, Hangman Adam Page decided to flip CM Punk the bird at CM Punk extending his hand. So this match is going to be personal one way or another. This match will be for the World Heavyweight Championship at Double or Nothing. To CM Punk go back at the top of the mountain and become world champion once again. He done so in another company, but can he do it once again in AEW to become the face of AEW and become going back at the top of the mountain when the bottom hitting the light? Well, we know next week, Heyman Adam Page will be action. He'll go against I don't want to pronounce his name, but he will go against Tate Shatstia with CM Punk as a special guest commentator. So we're looking forward to seeing that match next week between these two. This rivalry has intensified and intensified real early and quick. And we get to see this match. Everyone wants to see it at Double or Nothing. So we'll get to see that. Also, too, Samoa Joe made a rare appearance talking about he's going to get his hands on his former pupil. What's his name? Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and that giant. Samoa Joe will have his duck in the row coming up in the near future. As well as the women's AEW match. The women's AEW match as Jamie Hayter took on Toni Storm. Toni Storm winning. I think Toni Storm more happy and relaxed being in AEW than when she was in WWE. So Toni Storm, a little relieved. she could be earning herself a women's championship match down the road, somewhere in the future for the AEW women's title. Also, Stu, speaking of former women's champion, Hiroshita has been announced that she's been replaced. She will no longer be in the Owen Cup. So that's how that goes. Plus, to Keith Lee. Keith Lee talked about his. We'll talk about what's going on with Keith Lee later. And Keith Lee, Swerve, they're gonna team up against Jungle Boy, um, and Starks and Hart. They all got problems, and then I guess that tag team title match will be a triple threat match. When you look at it, going down the road for that. Okay, you tell right here, Ricky Starks and Jungle Boy with their match and stuff. As Jungle Boy lost the match against Ricky Starks. I think Christian cost in the match. I think a lot of people are assuming that Christian's gonna turn heel and it's gonna be him and Jungle Boy fighting it out down the road. So look for that. In the meantime, we talked to you about Tony Storm defeated Jamie Hager to win the went advancing the Owen Cup. So kudos to Tony Storm winning. Also too, the Jericho Appreciation Society did a victory speech, which I don't get why they did what they did, but it is what it is. But they did a victory speech talking about nonsense. Jericho blabbering and stuff about his new killer body and stuff. What? Okay, Jericho, my head got ab whatever. But hey, William Reed came out there with his group. Jericho did make mention about Santana's about Eddie Kingston's wife. Went a little bit too far. And Jericho paid for it. When Regan used the power of the punch to knock Jericho out of his feet. Jericho didn't see that coming, so it's a lot going on. I think they're gonna lead to probably war games in a way. They're version of war games, but everybody want to see William Regal say blood and guts. So we'll see that it's like a version of NXT when he like to say war games. Now they're gonna say blood and guts. You know how they go. Well, we get to the main event. And the main event was that. And what a main event it was. The main event, get to the main event was this. Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy, first time ever. Enigma versus the new Enigma. Darby Allin becoming our own fan favorite, his own. Jeff Hardy been a fan favorite. These two meet, these two eccentric characters meet in the ring, the Owen Hart Cup. And it was the match of the ages as Darby Allin went all the way flying fast in a hurry. He went through taking Jeff Hardy down with the chairs, as well as Darby accidentally slipped and fell. And Jeff Hardy tried to do a swanton. Almost Darby missed with going through the rail. I mean, Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin, they are like stunt men that just do crazy stunts. But, you know, people love it. Stuff. Oh, that's on MJF mama. She said she doesn't care. Her son. Well, at the end of the match, Jeff Hardy wins over Darby and Darby Allin with this amazing feat right here. Man, they just crash and burn. They are, I want to say, glorified stuntmen, what Mick Foley like to say. But Jeff Hardy gets the win over Darby. And Darby, nothing to be ashamed of. He should have his head up high. Darby will probably get another opportunity down the road. It just wasn't his time. Darby doing all these moves, just like Jeff Hardy, be crashed and reckless, but hey, it is what it is. But at the end, Jeff Hardy gets the Duke over Darby Allin. All right, that is the AEW Ring Report. Let's quickly move on to Hot Topics. All right, Hot Topics this week. This is the new logo for Ring of Honor right here. Ring of Honor. It's simple and bland, but hey, Ring of Honor said they're gonna go with this logo going forward. So who can blame them? But Ring of Honor, yeah. Well, hey, it is what it is. Also, too, Juice Robinson says that he signs a new agreement with New Japan. So Juice Robinson staying with New Japan through a contract extension. So congratulations to Juice Robinson. It's Tony Storm's husband. Yeah, a husband. Plus, two AEW said they're returning to Grand Slam for Dynamite. So AEW said they'll be back with Dynamite and Grand Slam. I guess it's their version of Madison Square Garden. They ain't gotta go to WWE, but they go elsewhere. Also, too, Kolo Ibushi made an announcement that he now New Japan or at a riff. So we don't know what the riff is at the moment, but we're gonna eventually keep up with this story and update you on more on Pro Wrestling Show whenever we get more information. So visit, continue to watch our Pro Wrestling shows for more on the latest. Also, too, Hell in a Cell feature a new poster with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes will be the poster child for Hell in a Cell, along with Ronda Rousey, SmackDown Women's Champ Ronda, Raw Women's Champ Bianca, Edge, Drew, Lashley, Becky, and Seth. So it was a lot. I'm assuming that at Hell in a Cell, we're gonna see this match: Seth Rollins versus um, um Cody. Maybe inside the cell or what? It has to be inside the cell. This rivalry at WrestleMania, and it's been a good rivalry too. Cody coming back for his means and stuff. So also too, Cesaro saying that he will be coming back soon. I don't know how soon would be, but a lot of people are pinpointing that he could be heading to AEW and becoming the Joker in that Owen Hart Cup match. If he does become the Joker this Wednesday, what a huge get for AEW to get the Cesaro. So I mean, WWE wasted their time with Cesaro, and Cesaro is fit and built to be a world heavyweight champion. Look at him. He has the physique, he has the stature. I mean, the dude's 6'4", 6'5", and he's not world champion, and he's on the tail end of his twilight years. He's looking to become a coach. Then he needs to be world champion somewhere so WWE can realize, like, damn, we had him and we just didn't, feel like he was world championship material. Another person they feel like that wasn't world championship material is Keith Lee. Keith Lee should be up there too. But Keith Lee talking about the possibilities of him joining him in AEW, that he could be heading to Ring of Honor. And Keith Lee could be showing pizzazz as well. So Keith Lee could be limitless to his AEW, to his Ring of Honor return eventually. Speaking of AEW owner and Ring of Honor owner Tony Khan, he thanked everyone for watching Dynamite and San Friday. So he's on that early bird special. I guess because of the hockey games and the NBA. I guess the NBA draw more ratings. You know how that go. But a lot going on with that. All right. We're gonna end it with we're gonna end it with this feud: Warlow and MJF and CM Punk and Heyman Adam Page. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you this weekend for SmackDown, the SmackDown Ring Report, and other news stories that's coming our way. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.